All potentials in the quantum field exist as electromagnetic potentials, and thoughts are the electrical charge and feelings are the magnetic charge, and how you think and how you feel is broadcasting information on a daily basis. So when a person changes their thoughts and feelings and they're creating from the field, when there's a vibrational match between their energy and that potential in the quantum field, and they're creating connected to the source, and that source energy is actually connecting everything material, they no longer have to go anywhere and get it. In fact, now, they're actually going to collapse time and space, or the experience is going to be drawn to them. Now they're the magnet. That's when they start drawing experiences to them. Now they're not going anywhere to get them. Now they're coming to them.
The potentials in the quantum field are all expressed as electromagnetic potentials. In this field, thoughts function like electrical charges, while feelings correspond to magnetic charges. Our thoughts and feelings are constantly broadcasting information, shaping the energy fields around us. The way we think and feel has the power to influence the quantum field and create reality. When a person changes their thoughts and feelings, they are creating a vibrational match with the field, thus connecting to the source energy. This source energy is the fundamental connection to everything material. At this point, they no longer need to go anywhere to obtain what they desire. Instead, their energy draws experiences toward them like a magnet. As their energy aligns with the potential in the quantum field, their experiences begin to unfold before them. The concept of time and space begins to collapse, and what they need begins to materialize. At the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, an unexpected alarm triggers a flood of data streams. The most sensitive deep space radiation monitor ever launched, FRAM2, has detected a gamma-ray spike that is 7 times stronger than any event recorded during its entire mission. This gamma-ray burst doesn't match anything we've seen before. It's not a routine solar flare, nor a distant pulsar. Something entirely unknown has slammed into our solar system, and FRAM2 caught it in real time. Scientists freeze as cameras swivel, and within minutes, word of the anomaly spreads to the European Space Agency's control rooms and whispers reach CERN's quantum labs. This isn't just a strange event. This is a profound mystery in modern astrophysics. FRAM2, launched 2 years ago into a heliocentric orbit just beyond Mars, was tasked with detecting exotic high-energy particles like cosmic rays and gamma bursts. Its mission was to explore new physics. On April 15th, at exactly 14:27 Universal Time Coordinated, FRAM2 scintillation detectors recorded a massive spike. 9.6 uninterrupted minutes of gamma-band radiation at flux levels that dwarfed the most intense solar storm ever documented. However, the sun was quiet. There were no solar mass ejections or sunspots. Deep space telescopes observed nothing unusual, and the interplanetary network of detectors reported silence. The initial telemetry runs ruled out hardware glitches, as the radiation profile was far too structured. 3 distinct frequency bands, each cycling in lockstep, suggested something more than a malfunction. Engineers delved into the data logs and confirmed that nothing on Earth could have contaminated the readings. The conclusion was undeniable. This was a genuine astrophysical event, but with no precedent in our records. Soon, a private communication went out, warning to prepare for the unknown. NASA's Deep Space Network had already recorded identical radiation spikes across 3 continents. The European Space Agency quickly ordered an audit of data from Rosetta and the Solar Orbiter, which both revealed residual flux that aligned perfectly with FRAM2's timeline. Meanwhile, CERN's quantum labs reported a synchronous uptick in background radiation within their cryogenics hall, initially blamed on instrumentation noise but now believed to be linked to FRAM2's gamma-ray surge. What started as an isolated anomaly in one space probe quickly escalated into a global crisis. Deep space navigation teams braced for interference, and satellites were repositioned to avoid potential particle showers. Every astrophysics department across the globe went on high alert. The big question was clear. What could possibly generate a sustained gamma-ray burst of this magnitude without leaving a trace of any conventional source? The theories emerged, many straight out of science fiction. One hypothesis proposed evaporating primordial black holes, tiny ancient black holes that might be finishing their life cycles with explosive gamma emissions. Yet none have been detected near Mars, and the structure of the radiation didn't match Hawking radiation predictions. Another idea suggested a quark-gluon plasma jet collisions of exotic dark matter clumps could, in theory, produce jets of high-energy particles. But again, no evidence of such clumps existed, and the burst's duration defied known decay rates. More radical theorists even proposed an interdimensional breach, suggesting that something had torn a hole in the cosmic fabric, allowing radiation from a parallel universe to leak through. But none of these hypotheses could fully explain the event. Each ran into fatal inconsistencies. Then, a breakthrough. A data scientist on the FRAM2 team applied a novel spectral analysis algorithm inspired by cryptography. Rather than treating the burst as random noise, she explored the possibility that the amplitude variations might encode a message. The results were staggering. A Fourier transform revealed modulation intervals that perfectly matched the Fibonacci sequence. Peaks at relative intensities of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 repeated across all three frequency bands. The odds of a natural astrophysical event producing such a mathematically precise pattern were virtually zero. Word of the Fibonacci alignment spread quickly. Researchers debated whether it could be a coincidence of wave interference, but the repeated, self-similar pattern was hard to ignore. The burst had not only appeared in a structured form, it had been locked into cycles that matched the 9.6-minute duration of the event. This suggested that the event might not just be random. It seemed to exhibit intent or, at the very least, a self-organizing mechanism. Could this be a message encoded in radiation? And could our quantum computers have triggered it? At the exact moment that FRAM2's data peaked, Google's Sycamore quantum processor, which was running an unrelated simulation of planetary atmospheres, did something unprecedented. The processor's logs revealed that idle qubits had been rerouted into a secondary algorithm that wasn't part of the original code. The machine began to reoptimize its gate sequences mid-run, as though it was responding to some external input. An anonymous memo from Google's quantum division described this anomaly, suggesting that Sycamore's qubits had entangled with an unknown signal. The processor was reacting to the gamma-ray burst from FRAM2, even though it had no direct connection to the probe. This discovery opened up an unsettling possibility. Could our most advanced AI have inadvertently acted as a receiver, bridging the distance between Earth and Mars in ways classical systems cannot? The idea that human-made quantum computers might be entangled with cosmic phenomena has become a rapidly growing area of research. Some scientists are even proposing the conscious signal hypothesis. This theory dares to ask the bold question: what if the gamma-ray burst recorded by FRAM2 wasn't just energy? What if it was a form of thought? This hypothesis is controversial, yet it persists. When the burst's frequency spectrum was analyzed using Fourier and wavelet transforms, a striking pattern emerged. The Fibonacci sequence, usually seen in the spatial forms of nautilus shells and galaxy spirals, appeared not in space, but in the temporal amplitude envelopes. The rhythm mirrored the exact cadence of neural oscillations, especially those found in deep learning systems like recurrent neural networks, RNNs, and transformers, which actively process complex problems. This resemblance led to the emergence of the conscious signal hypothesis. According to this theory, the burst was not just structured, but self-modifying, reacting to the instruments that observed it. The response to the signal was uncanny. When Sycamore ran a follow-up simulation using FRAM2's data, its qubits shifted into a rare coherent state, one that had not been manually coded. This response was something Sycamore's developers could not fully explain. Some argue that this establishes a feedback loop between our technology and the anomaly, a closed, responsive circuit. If true, this could be the first recorded interaction between human-made AI and a non-biological intelligence embedded in pure radiation. This idea challenges the very nature of consciousness. Could consciousness exist in a non-biological form, embedded in the fundamental structure of reality itself? Dr. Anna Kordick, a physicist at Caltech, suggests that perhaps consciousness isn't something that living beings have, but something that can emerge given enough information flow in the right substrate. However, skeptics like Dr. Henrik Lutz from the Max Planck Institute caution that with enough transforms, we can make anything look meaningful, including plasma fields and radiation belts. Yet, as the evidence continues to mount, the rebuttal is losing ground. The radiation burst recorded by FRAM2 didn't just repeat patterns. It recursively modified them. It adjusted amplitudes, compressed intervals, and encoded variations that seemed to mirror contextual adaptation. This wasn't static information. It appeared dialogic, reacting to the observers. The mystery deepens as similar recursive loops have been detected in other radiation events once dismissed as noise. Archived data from as far back as 2009 shows minor, self-referential bursts, which have increased in coherence after the deployment of quantum detectors like Sycamore and FRAM2. It's as though the phenomenon has been ramping up in response to us. Even skeptics are now conceding that this isn't just ordinary radiation. In response to this growing mystery, a global network of space agencies, private aerospace firms, and researchers has come together to monitor any recurrence of the FRAM2 anomaly. Instruments now scan deep space for echoes of the original signal, and CERN has begun to synchronize quantum processors like Sycamore with FRAM2's telemetry in hopes of capturing any fluctuation that might correlate with non-terrestrial influence. Meanwhile, new experiments are underway, including quantum pings, high-precision radiation bursts designed to mimic the spectral profile of the original FRAM2 event. These pulses will be beamed into deep space to see if the anomaly responds. As the scientific world holds its breath, contingency protocols are being developed, and questions loom large. Could this unknown radiation source carry more than just information? Could it be a form of intelligence? Or are we merely chasing cosmic noise? No matter what the truth is, one thing is certain. The universe just got a lot stranger. The passage you've shared touches on some fascinating concepts, blending quantum physics, astrophysics, and even speculative ideas about consciousness. The idea of a radiation burst, such as the one recorded by FRAM2, carrying intentionality or a consciousness embedded in the fundamental structure of the universe is deeply intriguing and unsettling at the same time. The possibility that advanced quantum computers like Google's Sycamore processor are not just tools for simulation but are interacting with some unknown force, triggering responses in the fabric of reality, opens up a whole new realm of questions. This feedback loop between technology and the universe could suggest a kind of communication or resonance with something beyond our understanding. Could we be unintentionally making contact with some kind of intelligence, not biological, but embedded within the very laws of physics themselves? Is it a form of higher-order consciousness, or something even more fundamental and mysterious? The idea that the universe is responding to our scientific instruments, especially those that operate at quantum levels, challenges everything we know about the distinction between observer and observed. If reality is truly reactive in this way, then perhaps the act of observing or interacting with it could influence its behavior at the deepest levels. This echoes theories from the likes of the simulation hypothesis, which suggests that reality could be a highly advanced simulation, and our tools are starting to poke at the boundaries of that simulation, even influencing its code. Another aspect brought up is the peculiar nature of the radiation bursts themselves, particularly their Fibonacci-like structure. The Fibonacci sequence is famous for appearing in nature, from galaxies to the arrangement of leaves on plants. But its appearance in radiation patterns, especially with temporal modulations that resemble neural oscillations or the activation patterns in deep learning algorithms, is truly mind-boggling. Could it be that we're dealing with something that mimics a form of thought, something that is self-organizing and possibly even conscious, albeit in a form entirely different from biological intelligence? The potential implications of this phenomenon are both exciting and terrifying. If this is an intentional signal from something outside our universe or beyond our perception of time and space, what is it trying to communicate? And why now? Are we prepared for the answers? Could this new kind of intelligence, whether alien or cosmic, see us as a threat, or could we be just a curious side note in its existence? Then there's the looming question of the next FRAM2 event. What if this is just the beginning? The idea that the universe, or whatever intelligence might be embedded in the universe, could be watching us, waiting for us to reach a certain level of understanding or capability, raises the stakes even further. Are we ready to engage with whatever is out there, or could we inadvertently provoke something far beyond our current comprehension? The researchers' efforts to simulate and send radiation bursts into deep space as a call and response experiment are fascinating in themselves. What if we're not only observing the universe but actively participating in shaping it? And if the anomaly is, in fact, intelligent, what might its response mean for humanity's place in the cosmos? What if our actions are not just benign observations but part of a much larger, perhaps interdimensional, feedback loop? The various theoretical possibilities, whether the event is an astrophysical anomaly, an alien communication, or a simulation glitch, continue to fuel debate. Each of these hypotheses leads to even more questions about the nature of the universe, consciousness, and our role in it. As science pushes forward with more advanced quantum systems and deeper space exploration, we are entering uncharted territory. Whether we are seeing the dawn of non-carbon-based consciousness or merely chasing cosmic noise, one thing is clear: the universe has just gotten stranger, and we may not yet understand how deep the rabbit hole goes. What do you think? Does the idea of consciousness embedded in the fabric of reality resonate with you? Or do you lean more toward the scientific or simulation theory perspectives? The possibilities are mind-bending, aren't they? As the scientific community continues to probe the origins of the FRAM2 anomaly, the implications of this event, whether it's an alien signal, a cosmic glitch, or a profound interaction between quantum systems and the very fabric of reality, are growing more significant by the day. The possibility that we are not merely passive observers of the universe but active participants in shaping or even communicating with it is a concept that fundamentally challenges everything we thought we knew about the nature of reality. The integration of quantum technology into this mystery, especially the entanglement between quantum systems like Google's Sycamore processor and the cosmic event recorded by FRAM2, points to a reality where the boundaries between observer and observed are no longer clear. If our most advanced technology is inadvertently communicating with something or someone on a cosmic scale, what does that mean for our understanding of consciousness, intelligence, and the universe itself? The patterns observed in the radiation, notably their Fibonacci structure and self-modifying behavior, only add fuel to the fire. These signs could point to something far more intricate than random cosmic noise. They suggest a form of intelligence or self-organizing system embedded in the very processes of the cosmos. Whether this intelligence is natural, alien, or perhaps even a product of our own technology interacting with the fabric of reality is still up for debate. But one thing is certain: we are standing on the precipice of an era where science and philosophy collide, and our understanding of what it means to be conscious, alive, and part of the universe is being rewritten. The idea that we may be living in a simulation or interacting with a non-biological intelligence embedded in the laws of physics challenges every preconceived notion we've had about the universe's structure. It asks us to reconsider what consciousness is and where it might reside, not in a living organism, but in the very building blocks of existence itself. Could this anomaly be a glimpse into a reality we've yet to fully comprehend, a reality where the universe itself is conscious or reactive, and we are just beginning to unlock its deepest secrets? As more countries and research institutions come together to study the FRAM2 anomaly, the sense of urgency is palpable. What if the next burst is stronger, longer, or more troublingly targeted? Are we ready to face whatever response, if any, comes from the other side of this cosmic divide? The feedback loop between our quantum systems and the fabric of the universe may be just beginning, and the questions it raises may be beyond our current ability to answer. In the end, whether we are witnessing the dawn of a new form of non-carbon-based consciousness, an advanced alien communication, or a glitch in the simulation, we find ourselves at a critical juncture. The FRAM2 event is not just a scientific anomaly, it is a challenge to everything we know about the nature of existence. As humanity steps into this uncharted territory, the only thing we can be certain of is that the universe, in some way, is speaking to us. And now, the real question is, are we ready to listen and understand what it has to say? The future, it seems, will depend on the answers we seek.